Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
Arctic air continues to spill into central and eastern Kentucky, and now I'm tracking the possibility of some snowflakes.
Inside that U-Haul behind me are more than 1,000 blankets that will go out to people in need.
An investigation finds rape not only has a physical and emotional cost, but for victims in many states, it also includes an expensive hospital bill.
We'll look at how Kentucky handles the cost of helping victims. WKYT News at 5 starts now.
Now, if you've been outside, you know winter has arrived in Bluegrass pretty early this year.
Yeah, and temperatures will keep dropping over the next few days. We begin with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey to tell us just how cold it's going to get.
Yeah, guys, what a dramatic change over the past 24 hours, and the coldest air is still to come. But if we look back across central and eastern Kentucky and compare temperatures of now to the same point yesterday, check that out. It is better than 30 degrees colder into much of central and eastern Kentucky. 32 degrees colder into Richmond, London, Somerset, Jackson, and Prestonsburg. That's pretty impressive. Those numbers as of now: 35 Lexington, 34 Danville. Most areas did not get out of the mid-30s for afternoon high temperatures. Throw the winds into the mix. It feels like it is 30 in Lexington, a little colder into Danville at 29 degrees. Let's talk about the wind chill number, because that's the number that is important. It's much more important than what your car thermometer is showing, because it's the number your body will react to. 11 o'clock this evening, it's going to feel like low 20s. We'll kind of hover around 20, 21, 22 degrees first thing tomorrow morning. Then through the rest of your day, numbers don't improve a whole heck of a lot. Upper 20s, and tomorrow evening as skies clear out, winds gust up by 11 on Thursday evening. It's going to feel like it is into the teens in most areas. Life First Alert Defender, nothing going on, though, with an overcast sky out there. A hint of some moisture, getting a few reports of some snow flurries into most areas as the clouds are very thick. What I'm watching, though, is a disturbance to our northwest that'll bring a band of some light snow and flurries into parts of the area for the day tomorrow. Focus of the forecast, guys, when I come back. Not only tracking the flurries of tomorrow, but the potential for some late weekend snows.
Chris, thank you. Well, as the temperatures drop, the effort to help people in need is heating up.
And today, the Catholic Action Center here in Lexington started collecting blankets for those who do not have heat. WKYT's Sam Smith shows us how the center is making sure they reach people just in time. It's our top story at 5.
Winter is on the minds of people here at God's Net, and so are ways to help people stay warm. One way they're doing that is by distributing more than 1,000 blankets.
These will keep folks warm, and it will be just it's a blessing to have them.
They came from an organization called the Christian Appalachian Project, based out of eastern Kentucky. More than 20 community organizations like the Lexington Rescue Mission pick them up here and will deliver them to the needy.
And as of last week, we just ran out of blankets, and so we got some donated this week, and then when we got this email, it was perfect timing to get them in, especially as the weather's dropping. We know they'll be asking.
This distribution of blankets is not just for today. A new shipment of blankets is expected to arrive in a couple of weeks, and the folks here at God's Net will do this all over again. People with the school system also picked up blankets for any students that would need them. Jeannie Ramsey with the Catholic Action Center says working with their sister organizations like this is the best way to help people stay warm.
This way, it's those who already have relationships with the families and with the individuals, being able to give them a blanket to keep warm through this weekend.
In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Also, the Catholic Action Center will have extended hours this weekend. They'll be open around the clock until Monday night. Kentucky is not, of course, the only state dealing with much colder weather. From Colorado to Michigan, tens of millions of Americans have seen their temperatures really drop. In the upper Midwest, people are also digging out from several inches of snow. In fact, more than several inches. By Friday, it's expected every state, except Hawaii and Florida, will hit temperatures below freezing.
A man hit by a car in Lexington last night has died. 60-year-old William Barber was one of 2 pedestrians hit near North Broadway and Loudon in the last 24 hours. As WKYT's Victor Puente shows us, people who walk in that area say it can be a dangerous spot to cross the road.
In the past few months, multiple people walking across this road have been hit by vehicles. Last night, one of those people died. The wreck on North Broadway happened around 7. Police say a vehicle turning onto Loudon hit 60-year-old William Barber.
They didn't say he was actually walking so much as he was staggering, unsteady on his feet.
They say Barber wasn't in a crosswalk.
There was one car who made the turn, saw him, and was able to swerve. The second car that was making the turn was not able to swerve.
He died at UK Hospital. About 5 hours later, a woman walking across Loudon nearby was hit in front of the Rite Aid. She was taken to UK Hospital, but is expected to survive. People who walk in this area say even when you do use the crosswalks, this intersection requires caution.
Now, when I go across this thing here, I wait till the lights change till I got my walk signal. They still don't care. You saw that right there. They don't care if it's a walk signal or not. They're still going to turn.
We asked for a copy of the accident report in connection to Barber's death. We were told it wasn't ready yet. There haven't been any charges filed in connection to the crash. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
We did some checking, and records we obtained from Lexington police show Barber is at least the 40th pedestrian hit on Broadway since 2011.
And we've tracked down some new information today about a stabbing in a school parking lot. 911 calls show that a lot of people called for help after police say Marcos Popche stabbed Angie Rodriguez, then himself, in Pulaski County. Popche died. We're told Rodriguez is improving. WKYT's Phil Pendleton shows us what the 911 callers reported to dispatchers.
The Pulaski County 911 Center received at least 4 phone calls as it was a busy time of the day. A lot of parents dropping off their children for the school day.
I got it. 911. Yes, there's an emergency at Meese Middle School parking lot, domestic dispute.
Callers didn't know what was going on, only that something was wrong near the baseball field parking lot. Some callers thought that a man was beating a woman with a stick. Others described seeing a man down and people upset. The 911 center received calls from the school and parents who saw the ordeal play out.
I just pulled in, and I don't know if the girl shot him or stabbed him or what, but I just seen he had blood on him and he fell over.
Both the principal and assistant principal were in the parking lot and they heard the commotion. How they responded and actually helped secure the scene before police arrived, coming up at 6 o'clock. But for now, in Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
A relative says that Rodriguez suffered several stab wounds, including ones on her hands as she tried to fend off Popche.
An update to a crime alert in Lexington. Police have released pictures of a suspect in a robbery. Police say this man robbed the Advance America cash advance on Southland Drive yesterday. Police tell us he walked up to a clerk, implied he had a weapon, and demanded money. He ran off after getting some cash. Police say Jordan Luttrell and Thomas Wilson walked right out of the front door of the Adair County Jail on Tuesday. We're told that it took nearly an hour for jail staff to notice that those two were missing. They think someone may have picked the men up in a white 2004 Chevy Cavalier. Rape victims face a long and painful recovery, physically and emotionally.
And we're learning that in more than a dozen states, survivors also get stuck with a bill. Chris Van Cleve investigates the cost of being attacked in a story that's new at 5.
I woke up the next morning naked.
Late last year, Christine was sexually assaulted. She went to a suburban Chicago hospital for a rape kit, a medical exam that checks for injuries and collects evidence of the crime. The next day, she felt victimized all over again.
I got my first bill.
You kept getting bills?
Correct. Lots of them, and for like thousands of dollars.
Federal law says that victims should not pay for rape kits, but there can be additional medical charges like HIV tests or ER fees, which may not be covered. In some states, that means victims could be stuck with the bill.
When you keep getting re-victimized, you know, once a month, you get a reminder in the mail, hey, you were raped, hey, this happened, you know, it's hard to move on.
Chicago's rape victim advocates helped Christine, but it took almost 10 months for the bills to stop.
We have a full-time staff person, and the bulk of their cases are resolving medical bills.
Our CBS News investigation found 13 states, including Illinois, where advocates say some rape survivors are getting billed for medical services. In Louisiana, this victim was among those billed after a private company took control of the state-owned LSU hospital system.
Around $2,000, of which my insurance covered none of it at all.
State legislators began hearings last month, and Louisiana's governor signed an executive order aimed at better protecting victims.
I believe that the victim should never be charged.
There have been at least 2 attempts to change federal law to expand coverage beyond rape kits. Both failed to pass Congress. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, New York.
In a statement, the American Hospital Association responded to this investigation, saying hospitals' goal is to treat sexual assault survivors in a compassionate manner. They're encouraging all hospitals to review their policies on charges related to sexual assault victims. We checked with UK Hospital to find out their policy for handling rape cases. UK tells us that victims do not pay for the forensic rape examination, which collects evidence and makes sure the victim is okay. The state's Rape Victim Assistance Fund covers that cost. If the victim suffers other injuries, for example, a broken arm, they or their insurance will have to pay. Now, the State Crime Victim Compensation Board can help pay bills for victims who are uninsured.
Well, it is orientation week for the newest members of Congress. The GOP will hold the majority in both the House and the Senate next year. Today, newly elected Republican senators lined up with likely Majority Leader Mitch McConnell for a photo. The 114th Congress begins on January 3rd. President Obama wrapped up a 3-day trip to Beijing by announcing a milestone deal on climate change. The U.S. and China plan to work together to cut carbon and greenhouse gas emissions. The U.S. agreed to cut emissions of heat-trapping gases 28% by 2025. China didn't commit to specific numbers, but promises emissions will stop growing by 2030.
A Kentucky church voted out of the Kentucky Baptist Convention over its stand on same-sex marriage is reacting to that decision. The convention severed ties with Crescent Hill Baptist Church in Louisville yesterday. The church has said it is open to performing same-sex marriages. The church's pastor, Reverend Jason Crosby, says his congregation supports the new stand.
This is another barrier that I believe that God has revealed to us it's time to bring down.
Reverend Crosby made a final plea to the convention yesterday. He says the decision came after much discussion during the past 2 months. The Human Rights Commission has ranked the state of equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in the U.S. The report out today looked at 353 cities, including 5 in Kentucky. The national average is a 59 out of 100. Louisville and Lexington scored above it at 66, that's for Louisville, and 65 for Lexington. Frankfort came close to the average at 42. Owensboro scored 19, while Bowling Green was at 14.
Some terrifying moments today for 2 window washers in New York. The pair ended up dangling after their scaffolding broke while cleaning windows at One World Trade Center. Firefighters had to cut window glass out and pull them inside. They had to dangle for about an hour before being rescued.
Quite a feat. European scientists made history this morning, landing a spacecraft on a moving comet. The European Space Agency has been chasing that comet for 10 years. The Rosetta spacecraft actually reached the comet in August. It took 3 months to find a place to land. Scientists will use the spacecraft to take samples from the surface. They hope the samples will shed some light on how the solar system began.